People stuck at home, the state is making sure no one is evicted during the pandemic. But what happens as restrictions are lifted? Back in March, Governor Kate Brown halted all evictions in the state. This executive order lasts for 90 days and it creates a temporary relief on residential evictions for non-payment in the light of this public health emergency. Well, tonight some Portlanders gathered virtually to discuss what to do when the rent finally comes due and folks can't afford to pay it. Fox 12's Drew Reeves spoke with one organizer tonight and shares some of their solutions to this rent problem. Drew?
Yeah, at tonight's virtual town hall, people were able to meet with union leaders and ask their questions about what they should do if they can't pay their rent or won't be able to pay it in the future. So it really was a brainstorming session about what to do when rent is due again. The financial impacts of COVID-19 have been felt by millions of Americans. Unemployment has skyrocketed, and states are just now beginning the process of reopening. To address the economic impacts, Oregon put in place a moratorium on evictions for unpaid rent. But eventually, that rent will be due again.
It's unreasonable and it's unrealistic.
So tonight, union leaders and tenants gathered to discuss what can be done to take care of that unpaid rent. One of tonight's organizers was Margot Black, co-chair of the Portland Tenants United. She's also vying for a spot on city council in seat number 2. She says as the governor's moratorium on evictions is lifted, she fears things could become dire for many who weren't able to pay their rent.
When the emergency order lifts in July, right now, scheduled to be July, and that 6-month clock starts ticking, we're going to see an enormous eviction and debt crisis.
She believes it's time for local or even federal government to take action and for landlords to start working with their tenants.
What we need tenants to agree to pay 30% of their income in rent and no more, landlords to agree to take that, and then a combination of subsidies to landlords to cover operational expenses and housing vouchers that should just be an entitlement program.
Margot says that she understands that landlords also have mortgages and other payments and doesn't want them to be left footing the bill.
I'm in support of landlords getting relief that will cover the costs of their own mortgages. However, I do think the banks really are the ones that need to take the hit there.
Margot also told me that she thinks rent prices in Portland are just too high and many people will not be able to afford them after this pandemic. I did reach out to several landlords tonight to get their perspective, but didn't hear back. Reporting live in North Portland, Drew Reeves, Fox 12 Oregon.